Even though we've been on many Princess cruises, this is our very first time that we are cruising with Princess in the Mediterranean, and it is very different than what we expected. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I always like to do a little bit of a Q&A to let you know a little bit about our cruise, how things are going. And right now we are on a Mediterranean cruise on board the absolutely gorgeous Enchanted Princess. Now, even though we did a Mediterranean cruise a few years ago, it was about 9 years ago, this is our first time cruising the Mediterranean with Princess. And like everybody knows, everything changed a couple of years ago. And really, we weren't sure what to expect, but we've been very pleasantly surprised. There's been so much that we've enjoyed. So in this video, I am going to share with you our first impressions about the cruise ship and about our Mediterranean cruise and the ports. Of course, answer some of the frequently asked questions. And I'm going to answer one that might be a little bit awkward, but I feel like I really want to be transparent and keep it real, so I am going to answer that as well. Now, right behind me, you can see that this is the port of Gibraltar. It was very beautiful. We had a wonderful excursion, but I am going to do a whole review video after this one. So not to worry, I'm going to share everything that we did in the cruise ports as well. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Do you hear that? It's the Love Boat theme song horn. Yes, we're on a Princess cruise. Wow, I didn't make the captain do that. Okay, in any case, let's get started. So what cruise ship are we on? We are on the Enchanted Princess. Now, the Enchanted Princess, I think, began sailing in 2020, so it is a pretty new ship. It's about 141,000 tons, and it holds about 3,600 passengers. Now, people have asked, does the cruise ship feel very crowded? Not really. It definitely feels full of life. There are definitely a lot of people on it. We are sailing full, but there is so much room in the public spaces that it really doesn't feel overly crowded. It is a very spacious cruise ship. Now, the ports that we're going to is, we started in Barcelona. We had a day at sea. Today we were in Gibraltar. Then we're having a day at sea. We are going to be in Marseille in France. We're going to be in Genoa in Italy, then Livorno, Italy, which is really that gateway to Florence, and then we end our cruise 7 days later in Rome. Now, because it is a 7-day cruise that starts in Barcelona and ends in Rome, we decided to do 2 days before the cruise and 2 days after the cruise inland to really extend our travel experience. Now, we are being hosted by Princess on a press trip on this cruise. However, all thoughts and opinions, as always, are my own. Now, some people did have questions about what this entails, so later on in the video, I will share a little bit more in detail. Okay, so let's start with number one. What is formal night like on Princess cruises? And do you have to get really dressed up? What can you expect? So basically, formal night has just changed over the years, but I would say it's still very special. Now, a lot of people do dress up a little bit, but less so in tuxedos and evening gowns than a few years ago. Now, my husband and my son both wore suits without a tie. In my case, I wore what I consider a nice dress. However, it really wasn't a cocktail dress. It is very warm at this time of the year in Europe, and I felt it was a nice summery dress. Now, you of course can wear what you feel comfortable with, but there were many different ranges of what people wore. But what I would say is that most people did dress a little bit in what they did feel comfortable in. Now, the evening was very special. It started off with a champagne waterfall and a toast by the captain. That was absolutely lovely. Now, we went to dinner. It was just wonderful. And after dinner, we did have an 80s party that was in the piazza, and we had a live band. It was Excite. They are just phenomenal, and it was really a very good time. So what was Embarkation like if you're in the blue lane versus the green lane and you have to pick up the medallion? Now, I can tell you that we picked up the medallion. It was absolutely no problem at all. It took a total from the time that we were dropped off at the port in Barcelona till we got on the cruise ship, I think less than 15 minutes, and that included picking up our medallion. So please do not worry about that at all. We did Ocean Ready. Well, we did all of that on our app before we left. And if there is anything that's a little bit left over, as long as you've put in all of your information, you really do not have to worry. Now, we started our cruise in Barcelona. So what hotel did we stay in Barcelona? So we stayed at H10 Casanova. Now, we stayed 2 days before our cruise. It was actually a pretty good location because it was about 10 minutes from Playa Catalunya. I am mispronouncing that, so I apologize. But that's basically just the very top of Ramblas. Now, Ramblas is a very busy area. I was a little bit glad I wasn't staying on that street just because it is so busy. But if you are staying there, you're going to have a wonderful time. It's very vibrant, very, very happening. But we were close enough that we could really visit a lot of places from where we were. And my favorite part, honestly, was the fact that we had this rooftop pool. It just was really nice. It gave us a break during the day to stop in at the pool, just chill, and it's nice and quiet because Barcelona is a pretty happening city. Now, I will share with you what we did in Barcelona in an upcoming video of the full review of our cruise, including the excursions. But if you do have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below so I can make sure that I answer them in a future video. Should you be concerned about pickpockets in Barcelona? Yes, you should be concerned about pickpockets in Barcelona. We actually had an incident happen right near us. I will share that in a future video, but just make sure that you basically keep your passports and your money, any important items, you just keep them close to you. So make sure that you do not even put a handbag on the back of your chair. Keep everything right in front of you. And really, I do think that you'll be fine. How did I get over jet lag? Now, this is a really common question for anybody doing a Mediterranean cruise. So what we did, we had actually a flight that was overnight. We tried to sleep a little bit on the flight, but you can never get very much sleep. But what we did is we arrived at about 11 a.m. Barcelona time. What we did is we tried to stay up really all day. So we were able to kind of push through the day, even though we were very tired. Mid-afternoon, what we did is we had a coffee, we came back to our hotel, and we took a little break at the pool. That did seem to help. And then this way, what we did is we went out for dinner a little bit late, around 8 p.m., so that by the time we came back to our hotel, it was about 10 p.m., and then we went right to bed. The next morning, we woke up about 7 a.m., and we were already acclimated, and that was just perfect. So I would say try to push through the day if you can, and you will get used to the time difference much quicker. Now, by the way, people eat dinner very late in Barcelona, so if you go out at night, at 8 o'clock or even 9 o'clock p.m., that is not too late to have dinner, believe me. What is the demographic like on a Princess cruise in the Mediterranean? So we actually found that the demographic is a little bit different than we thought. It's a little bit younger than we thought. Now, it's really a very varied age group, so there are a lot of people that are just of mixed ages. But I would say that the demographic generally, if I had to pick an average, it's probably in the 40s to early 50s, but there are some people that are a little bit older, so in their 50s and 60s and beyond, and there are other people that are in their 30s, early 40s, and then still there are families with children. The nice thing we realize about this cruise ship in particular, and this really is one of Princess's newest cruise ships, it really is meant for everyone. There is a great space in the middle of the cruise ship in terms of the pools that's great for families or anybody that wants to watch a game and be a little bit more busy. And there's also an adult-only area. There are activities both inside the ship and out. There really is something for everybody. Do I like the public spaces on this cruise ship? Yes, I absolutely love the public spaces. Now, the Enchanted Princess is part of the royal class of Princess cruise ships. I have been on the Regal Princess before, so I expected this ship to be really very similar to the Regal Princess. And while it is similar, there have been some updates that have been made even recently that make this ship just more elevated, a better use of space. I absolutely love Princess Live, this space. It's less closed in, much more open. I absolutely love the ship. And by the way, one area in particular, don't miss it, is the infinity or the wake pool. Oh my goodness, this is stunning. Now, I had a question about how would I compare Celebrity to Princess from somebody who had been on Celebrity before and they're considering a Princess cruise. And honestly, both cruise lines are very good, but what are some of the differences? Well, I would say if I had to compare, I would choose the Celebrity Beyond versus the Enchanted Princess because they really have been built around the same time. They're kind of the newest cruise ships. So I would say there's a lot of similarities in terms of having something to do for everyone. They feel like modern cruise ships. They feel very comfortable. They are both great. What I really do like on Princess is the International Cafe. I just love it because you can get sandwiches during the day, you can get snacks, you can get breakfast food. So rather than just sweets, I really like that. I love the main dining room. It is an open dining room if you like. The specialty dining is excellent on Princess. It's probably a little bit less expensive than Celebrity. And of course, there are also the value of the packages. So the Princess Plus and the Princess Premier, which are really packages that include the tips and include beverage packages, perhaps specialty dining, depending on what you choose. So I do think in that way, Princess is a really good choice. Is the bear Princess's mascot? So yes, the bear, Stanley the bear, is Princess's mascot. Now you won't see Stanley everywhere, but if you do have kids, you can take pictures with Stanley. He was there on formal night. You can buy plushies in the gift shop of Stanley as well. Okay, so a little bit of change of scenery. This is my balcony cabin. We are at Sail Away now, so there are other people, of course, that are on their balcony, so I want to give them a little bit of peace and quiet to enjoy that. So what is a hosted trip? What does that mean? Well, basically what that means is that Princess is hosting us on this trip. So this is an invitation. They're not paying us to create content. However, it is a press trip. So what that means is there are other people that are on the cruise ship that are travel writers or food and beverage writers or photographers, and we're basically all here to learn a little bit more about the Princess product. There are different events that are set up for us to learn a little bit more and to experience more, and of course to share that with you. Now, there's no obligation on my part to share any particular opinion, and my information is not being vetted by Princess. Now, I did have some people who said, is that kind of like a casino comp cruise? So no. Now, the reason that I mention it is I do think that it is important to be transparent. Now, if you would like more information about what goes on behind the scenes, I personally think it's very interesting. So of course, on this cruise, as much as we're having a wonderful time, we are also working as well. Now, that being said, I pinch myself all the time. I couldn't be doing another job that I enjoy more than this. And I'm very appreciative to Princess, and I am thankful that they have invited us. Now, if you'd like to know more about what happens behind the scenes, please do let me know, because perhaps in a future video I will share that. Now, I'm also so grateful for all of the wonderful people that have come up to me during this cruise to say hello, the viewers and people that are following me on social media. So thank you so much. Now, if you are on this cruise, please, if you do see me, it never bothers me, please do stop me and say hello. I'm always happy to chat, and I'm very grateful for you watching. Now, please let me know any questions that you have either about this ship, about Mediterranean cruises, or about the ports that we are going to go to. I'm definitely going to be sharing our excursions and more information about this ship, about Princess, including the food, yes, and of course about Mediterranean cruises in general. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.